Once you get to the URL, first thing you need to do is to log in. Each studio has their own username and password, so use the one that was assigned to you. I'm going to log in as Laverne and enter my password and click Login. The next screen that I'm brought to is the pre-registration screen. There are a couple things that you can do in this screen. The first is that you can take a look at in PDF form all of the registrations that you've already entered. So if you wanted a report of all the registrations you entered to check against your handwritten list or against whatever records you have at the studio, you can click on that link and it will bring you to a printable report that you can use for your own purposes. The other thing you can do is you can set up teams for the team divisions, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But primarily, you're going to this screen to enter in the registration for one of your students. And so the way it works is you start entering their last name. Now, I could enter a name like Smith, and if I haven't done a Smith yet, nothing will show up on the screen. I'll just have to keep entering the name. But if, for instance, I enter in a name like Rachel Lentz, I want to register Rachel Lentz. When I start typing names in, if there are any matches to the letters I've typed so far, they appear as selectable drop downs. And if I wanted to, I could just, if I was entering Rachel Lentz or modifying the registration for Rachel Lentz, I could just click on her name. It would bring her information up and I would be able to go ahead and proceed. Now I'm going to cancel that and we're going to put in somebody completely new. So I'm going to put in a Smith, Joe Smith, last name Smith, and because there were no Smiths in there that matched, it just didn't give me any option to select them. Joe Smith. Joe is 9 years old. He's going to be a brown belt. I'm going to make a brown belt 3rd class. And he's a boy, so make sure you click the correct gender here. It defaults to whatever your last one you entered was, so make sure you get this correct, because at a number of tournaments, some of the kids have had they've been in the wrong divisions because we didn't properly select their gender. So make sure you get their gender correct. Once you have all of this information correct, you just click Events, and it brings up for Joe Smith all of the events that he is eligible for. Now, if this doesn't look right, if the wrong events are here, either one of two things has happened. One, you wrote them down incorrectly before you came to this screen, and these are the correct events for 9 and under brown belt boys. Or you did something wrong in configuring Joe Smith, like you put the wrong belt level, the wrong age, or the wrong gender. If that's the case, you can hit cancel and it gets you back to where you were and you can modify things. So if his age was actually 11 and I had him in as 9 and the wrong events were coming up, I can change it to 11 and then click on events again. But we're going to assume that he is 9 years old, he is a boy, and he is a brown belt 3rd class. So now it's real simple. All we have to do is click on the event that he is participating in. And X says he's not participating, but if he's participating in kata, K27, I click on it and it goes to a check mark, which means yes, that is an event that he is participating in. It's very simple. So we're going to put him in for a number of events. Kata weapons and sparring. He's not going to do any of the musical. He's not going to do traditional. But he is going to do a team event. He's going to do self-defense. So he's SD7. Now, in a team event, because of the fact that as a particular belt level, you can participate in your level or any above because you may be teamed with somebody. For instance, like Joe Smith here could be potentially teamed with a black belt and they're doing showmanship together. And because that's an option for showmanship for the SS divisions, we see 2 offered to Joe Smith because Joe can participate as a brown belt with another brown belt or anybody under brown belt here. But he obviously couldn't participate in showmanship 1 or 2 because the highest level for those are less than brown belt. But for a team event, any division for which your belt qualifies or higher, you obviously can participate in. And so with Joe here, we see that he has the option of participating in SS3 or SS4. If Joe were a white belt, we would see all 4 showmanships available for him and a number of self-defenses as well, because of the fact that he can participate in anything his belt or higher. So there were more, obviously, if he was a white belt. But he is a brown belt, so we're going to have him participate in self-defense 7. Now, watch what happens when I click it. So I've clicked self-defense 7, and now there's an SD7 with a green check mark next to it, but immediately under it appeared a new SD7 without a check mark. The reason for that is, as the asterisk indicates in the little footnote below, is team events will appear multiple times as selected to allow for participating multiple times in that division. Not only can Joe participate in multiple different divisions within a team event like SS3 or SS4, as is indicated on the screen here, but also he could participate more than once within a single division if he's partnered with somebody else. And so as soon as I clicked SD7 for Joe, another SD7 appeared, and if he were, for example, to be planning to participate in SD7 twice, I would click that again, and look what happens. I get another one, just in case he's crazy and he wants to participate 3 times. But we're just going to drop him back to 1. And so this is how the system takes care of team events where a participant can participate not only in that style, in that form, like showmanship or self-defense, in multiple divisions, but also within a division they can participate multiple times, and that's how it shows. So now we've got Joe selected for the 4 events that he wants to participate in: kata's weapons, sparring, and self-defense. Now, if, for example, and this happens occasionally, Joe being a brown belt, he wants to say he's just gone through his black belt test, but the showcase hasn't occurred yet. He wants to also participate in a level higher, say for traditional form, or even if it's the scenario is not in between black belt testing and showcase, but he wants to participate in traditional form against black belts. That's also possible. It's not frequent, but it is apparently allowed. And so if you want to participate in events above your belt level, there's an option here called Other Events below them all, and you can select that, and I could say traditional form, and then it shows all of the black belt that he could potentially participate in his age group or higher. So he can participate in a higher belt level or a higher age group. So this is where you would do that. So I would basically say he wants to participate in TF1. I could say add event, and it will add TF1 as a traditional form event that he's going to participate in. I'm not going to take that out because we're not actually going to do that. But that's how you would sign up a participant in a division that he's not, that is above his belt level or his age level. It's always gender conscious still, but it does allow you to sign them up for events outside of their normal qualification level. Okay, now that we've got everything set up for Joe Smith, he's participating in SD7, S33, W22, and K27. All we do is hit submit, and Joe Smith is now a registered participant for the tournament.